Showbiz in full HD.
An absolute honor and pleasure to be chatting to the fabulous Tailor. Welcome to Showbiz in full HD.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're cruising around, having loads and loads of interviews for this concert that's coming up, the Real Concert Series, which is going to be at the Monte Cassino Teatro. And you're hanging out with some of your buddies, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this show. It's the first show that I'm involved in where it's such a fresh concept, you know. I think when people see the lineup, it's not going to be your usual show, and I really want people to know that so that they can get their butts there. But first of all, we have a great string section, so it's going to be a different take on every song that you might know from that specific band, and a lot of surprising collaborations that's going to be going down.
Very exciting. Now, you've been a busy girl, though, because you've just come back from Austin, Texas. I know you went there before, because did you do your latest album, Trust Pt.1? You did some of that there, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you've got a bit of a fan base, bit of a following going on there.
Yeah.
What was your reason for going back?
Well, Zach Loy, who was the producer for this record, he basically was like, do you want to come through for South by Southwest and play some shows? And it was very spur of the moment, to be honest. And I did. I went, and it was an incredible experience. I absolutely love Austin. It's such a great vibe there, and the music is just.
So why Austin? How did specifically that?
It just happened that the producer who I worked with comes from Austin.
Okay.
And he was like, you know, he's so hooked up there that it was pretty easy to put this record together. So yeah.
Amazing. How has Tailor kind of grown from your first album, Dark Horse, back in 2013? You did still have a distinct sound, though, through everything, through that album and through Light as well. But is there something a little bit different in this? I sense like a little bit of a maturity almost, if I can say that.
Yeah, I mean, with this record, I worked with a full band, which I haven't done before.
Okay.
And those guys were just phenomenal. So I think in terms of like, it was just a whole new, brand new energy. The guys were extremely talented, and you know, when you're in a room with a couple of musicians that, you know, just have been in the game for so long, that energy spills over.
Yeah.
And
does that make you nervous in a way to be?
No, if anything, it just makes me own my true self more as a musician. So this record, yeah, you can say it's definitely grown in terms of songwriting, arrangement.
Have you always written your own songs, or have you kind of
always
done more collaborative stuff?
I have always written, but I'm not closed up to collaborations. I think like about 3 songs off of this new record was collaboration tracks. I worked with, like I said, incredible guys there, and Jeff Bryant was one of the guys that I wrote with, Tabber Miller. So yeah, it's definitely, there were some collaborations on this record as well.
And then do you find when you go to do an album, like you set out to go there and do the album, that you kind of end up with more material than you need for an album? So
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Unless you have writer's block or something.
Then you end up with too little.
Yeah, it's not. What was great about this is that when I knew I had to go to Austin to go and record this album, I wanted to go in prepared. And I did go prepared, but a lot of the songs were written in studio, like they always are. I mean, for instance, with my first album, The Dark Horse, that whole album was written in a day in the studio. Yeah.
How on earth?
It was very supernatural.
Wow.
And it was almost similar to this record experience in producing the record. You know, there was so much magic in the studio itself that you couldn't help but find yourself by the grand piano with the drummer in the band.
Amazing.
And he's playing away at some notes, and I go, wait, what is that? And he goes, well, I'm just fooling around, and then immediately the melody would follow on top of that.
Incredible.
So, yeah, it was an incredible experience.
Amazing. Because I mean, to write on your own, and I mean, to be a musician and play the guitar as well, which way around does it work for you with your songwriting, or is it completely organic? Because some people kind of get a hook on the guitar and then they kind of find lyrics, or some people have a lyric first.
It differs. It's been all of that for me. It could be a few notes on the guitar being pulled, or a specific line or concept or story that I want to write about. Every time is different.
Okay. I wanted to ask you as well about your the experience. Well, I mean, the fact that your song was picked up for So You Think You Can Dance with Travis. That is amazing. Like, has that helped you sort of on an international platform?
Oh, definitely. I mean, that record which Wolf and Shaped Like a Gun was on, the Dark Horse took on a life of its own, you know, and that's how that whole thing came about. It was a fan in America somewhere, and she listened to the record and obviously entered herself into So You Think You Can Dance, and the track just took on a life of its own, and Travis Wall really liked the song and wanted to do a dance to it. So yeah, it definitely sets you up and it starts connecting the dots more.
Yeah, for sure. And now this album, Trust Pt.1, so obviously there's part 2. Is that going to be done back in Austin as well, or?
I mean, for now, I'm really just focusing on part 1. And yes, I write all the time. You know, I think if you follow me on social media, you'll always see me writing somewhere. And if those tracks make it onto part 2 and I go back to Austin, great. But for now, I think, you know, this is like my little baby. So I try to stay as much as possible in the now.
Perfect. And I mean, to see you live, I've seen you live a couple of times, and I'm very excited to see you and for you to be the girl amongst the rose amongst the thorns, with the boys, with Just Ginger. Who were your influences sort of in the South African music scene on your journey thus far?
Sure, in the South African music scene, I mean, I'm friends with Nkane Tore, but he's definitely one person that I feel is breaking boundaries and thinking outside of the box. And I've always liked his songwriting and his vocals. I mean, to be honest, there's no one really.
So more kind of international flavors.
And it just happened that way.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen. I was a massive fan, and that's such a pity they're not going anymore. Black Sunshine.
Okay, yeah.
Massive fan of theirs when they came out. Bought that first record when it came out, and I mean, but that's when I was like maybe like 13 or 12 years old. You know.
The other day.
The other day. So yeah, it's more manly orientated, and what I mean by that is I listen to like bands like Stereophonics, The National, front men more than front women.
All right. More man influenced. That's okay. That's good.
I guess so. Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing you on stage at the Theatre. It's the April 7th and 8th with the boys.
Yeah.
And you're representing the girls, and we can't wait to see you. Thank you so much for chatting to Showbiz in Full HD.
Thank you for having me.
Showbiz in Full HD.